Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. From the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Cover it all right here. Alright, WrestleMania 42 preview. Night 1 kicks off tomorrow. First hour will be on ESPN. We're going to have the first match is The Vision, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, teaming up with IShowSpeed, taking on the Usos, Jay and Jimmy, and L.A. Knight. The more I look at this match, the more I look at IShowSpeed, and I wonder, do we really need these kind of celebrities at WrestleMania year in, year out? Does it bring a mainstream presence? Yeah, I get that. You know, wrestling is a niche industry, and you need that kind of mainstream, somebody that people know. Now, it all depends on how you want to end this show, how you kick this show off. Because if you look at WWE shows normally, it's kind of that heel-face dynamic. There's more face wins than heel wins. And if you have a heel win the main event, some people leave angry and are upset. You want the rest of the card to kind of be, yay, I get what I want, the face guy wins. So I'm kind of torn on this. You get the face of the Usos and LA Knight, and the Vision's the heel. My first instinct is that IShowSpeed and the Vision will get the victory, which to me kind of get the Usos to lose, but then the main event tomorrow night, you have them help Roman win. Everyone leaves happy. So it's kind of that give and take to me. So I'm picking the Vision to win this. Next up, we have the Unsanctioned Match, which this is really early to have an Unsanctioned Match in the card, in my opinion. The fact that you're going to have the first hour on ESPN, first time ever, having an Unsanctioned Match, if the goal is to get that casual fan or try to hook that sports fan into your show, having a quote Unsanctioned Match sends kind of mixed messages to me, because like, okay, what does that actually mean? To me, an Unsanctioned Match means anything goes. You're going to have bloodshed, you're going to have all kinds of crazy shit. Obviously, being WWE, you're not going to have that. But Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, they've kind of put together the program about kind of Drew losing the title and getting kind of screwed out the main event. And obviously Jacob, part of the Iwata family, and it's kind of his family that kind of he got screwed because of ringing. Yeah, it's just, I think they're kind of doing too much with this thing in an Unsanctioned Match. But I gotta actually have Jacob Fatu winning it, which I think will piss off Drew McIntyre, and you'll have that kind of moment on Raw tomorrow night, kind of that JBL moment where he says, I quit, and someone throws Mike down and leaves. I guess. I don't know if they're going to do something like that or not, but I got Jacob winning that one. Next up, we have the Women's World Title on the line, with champion Stephanie Vaquer taking on Liv Morgan. Stephanie's had the title 208 plus days, the longest reign since Liv Morgan's 226 days. Stephanie's only had 6 title defenses between September 20th and February 2nd. She's had 1 match in the last 74 days. So it's like, a lot of these champions in WWE right now, there used to be a 30-day rule. If you can't defend the title in 30 days, you get stripped of it. There's a lot of these champions that haven't defended the title and haven't had a match in 40, 50 days. But no one cares. So, okay. But it's like, to me, what's the point of being champion if you're not going to defend the title? If you're not going to put it on the line, you're just going to walk around holding it and talk. I get the build from Royal Rumble to Mania, but it's like, come on, have matches at least. I actually think Liv Morgan wins the title back here. I think a lot of people are down Stephanie Vaquer as champion. I think she, with the language barrier, and I think a lot of people aren't believing in her character. They don't understand her character. She is, I think, better suited for like NXT or even AEW, because she's kind of that. She doesn't have the aura for WWE, if that makes sense, in my opinion. I mean, I think she's a great wrestler, but she doesn't have the showmanship. There's another word there. So I think Liv Morgan will win the title back there. Next up, we have the WWE Women's Intercontinental title line. Champion AJ Lee taking on Becky Lynch. AJ's had the title 45 plus days and only one match in that time. I don't know where they go with this. My thought process would be they're going to do something at Backlash with AJ and Punk and Becky and Seth, but I don't know if they maybe. I mean, I can see them putting the AAA mixed titles on one of those two couples. But as for the title here, I think AJ's liking being back, and with them possibly bringing Paige back, I think they kind of. I don't know if they just don't want Becky having the title because they've taken it off of her twice in recent memory. So I'm actually going to pick AJ Lee to retain her title here. Then it comes to the WWE Women's Tag Titles. So yeah, we got 3 women's matches straight here. So 3/4. So what is this? Out of the 7 matches, we have 3 women's matches in night 1. We have the WWE Women's Tag Titles on the line in the Fatal 4-Way match. We have the champions, the Irresistible Force, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, taking on former champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, versus former champions Bayley and Lyra Vaquer, versus the Bella Twins, Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. When they came up with these tag titles, I think a lot of people looked, oh, it's the Bella Twins, and they definitely should they should come back and put the titles on them. When they weren't coming back, then it's like, well, these were made for them. Then when they came back, everybody's like, oh, they should put the titles on them. Apparently Nikki is hurt and not cleared for Mania. I saw that online. Don't know how true it is. I know one thing I read was also they're looking at Paige returning tomorrow on Monday, I mean. So I can see Paige coming in and teaming with Brie. Would be very interesting. Having Paige return like that, and they've done returns like that before. So I actually have the team of Brie Bella and Paige winning the women's tag titles. The Irresistible Force has had it for 49 days. I think to make them look strong, you take it off of them by having the Bella Twin or Brie Bella or Paige. Have Paige pin Lyra Vaquer. I think that would be a way to make the Irresistible Force still look strong. You kind of set up something with Paige and Vaquer because they're both from the UK. And kind of carry some stuff on with that. Next up, we have Seth Rollins versus Gunther. I mean, the match should be good, I hope. I don't understand how you take Seth out of Division. He comes out to attack Division with all these masked people, and then all of a sudden Gunther attacks him, and now we get a match. So, okay, that's cool. You know, we want Gunther on the card, we want Seth Rollins on the card. All for both of those. But I just don't get how this is all kind of, unless I missed something, how this all kind of got thrown together. To me, it was kind of like, we can't do Braun and Seth. Gunther's a big guy, let's do him. But I actually had Gunther winning this. I don't think you can have Gunther retire John Cena, retire Brock Lesnar, retire AJ Styles, and then lose to Seth Rollins. I don't see that happening. So I got Gunther winning that. And then our main event is the WWE Undisputed Championship on the line. Champion Cody Rhodes, he's had it for 36 days. They pinned back on him. Versus Randy Orton with Pat McAfee in Randy's corner. If Orton loses, McAfee will leave professional wrestling industry permanently. In the direction that WWE is going with TKO, ESPN, trying to be that more mainstream, average sports fan watching, I think you need Pat McAfee. You've had a lot of the wrestlers go on his show. You've had a lot of stuff happen on his show about wrestling. So I actually have Randy winning this, which I've got a problem with. I mean, he'd be 15-time champion. He's freaking Randy Orton. But I can definitely see that whole Pat McAfee angle kind of turn into something. And I kind of like him, Pat being heel. It's kind of funny. And freaking Randy's shirt's freaking awesome too. So I got Randy winning that. So I got Liv Morgan winning the Women's World Title. I got AJ Lee retaining the Women's Intercontinental Title. I got Paige and Paige and Brie winning the Women's Tag Titles, and then Randy winning the Undisputed WWE title. Now, night 2, we start off with Femi and Brock Lesnar. Again, the first hour will be live on ESPN. Trying to pull in that casual wrestling sports fan. To be honest with you, I don't know how they don't let Femi go over here. Do I think having Femi beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania after Brock Lesnar ending Taker's streak gives any credit to Femi? Had they talked about that at all? I don't think they have really. I think a little bit has been mentioned. But I don't know if this current fan base would be able to take that and slide that over. Like, okay, Undertaker undefeated, Brock beat Undertaker, now Oba beat Brock. Okay, Oba's next big man. Every time I see Femi, the only thing I think of is Ahmad Johnson from back in the day. He's a more athletic version of a little bit bigger than Ahmad Johnson. And you old-time wrestling fans knew what I'm talking about. If you don't, look him up. He was an IC champion for a long time back in the day. Wrestled Goldust a lot. Alright, so Femi beating Brock Lesnar. Next up, we have a 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. This, to me, is set up to be just nothing but cluster. It's got, I mean, good God, you got guys who are going to be flying all over the place, which is not a problem with me. I like that. But you're just going to have spot and just for a spot. Now, a couple things that was said on Raw in the past weeks. Penta has only been in one ladder match, Money in the Bank. What? No, that's bullshit. Penta's been in a shit ton of ladder matches. Unfortunately, I'm not with WWE. Dragon Lee's been in none. Jovan Evans has been in none, which I actually looked that up. That's true. But it's like, how do we say Penta has only been in one ladder match prior to, or no ladder matches prior to Money in the Bank, when anybody that's been a wrestling fan for 5 seconds should know that Penta was in a ladder match in AEW, one of the best ladder matches in the history of AEW. Oh, that's right, it's AEW. They don't talk about the other company. Now, if they would have said Penta's been in ladder matches with other promotions, but with WWE only in Money in the Bank, okay, cool. But he's never been in a ladder match besides Money in the Bank. Why lie? Why lie to your fans? If you want to be legit to mainstream sports fans and be on SportsCenter, be on ESPN, why are we lying to fans? But that's my opinion. But with Penta, I know what he can do in a ladder match. I think it's going to be awesome. Jovan Evans, oh my goodness. The spots this boy can do is just absolutely amazing. Dragon Lee, same way. He's got some big spots he can do up the ladder. JD McDonough, yeah, I think he'd be pretty good on the ladder. Rusev, you got to have that power guy in there. That's kind of your power guy. He'll parlay at one point in time. You'll have 2 people on a ladder, and he'll push the ladder over because he's so powerful. Added Rey Mysterio, a little interesting to me. I could foresee them doing something with Rey and Dom down the line for the IC title. I was looking to see if they had maybe a pay-per-view going to California. I'm like, that would make sense, but Backlash is in Tampa, so, I honestly don't know who's going to win this. I don't see it being JD McDonough. Well, they could feud McDonough and Dom, but we'll see. Rusev, no. Rey Mysterio is an option. Jovan Evans is an option. Penta is an option to me. Penta's only had the title 45 days. I'm going to go with Penta retains. Yep, I think Penta will retain. Next up, we have the WWE Women's title line. Champion Jade Cargill taking on Rhea Ripley. Jade has had the title 166 days. She's been in 13 matches, including house shows. She's had 5 televised matches in that time. January 23rd, February 6th, February 13th, March 13th, and April 10th. She's had 1 title defense in that time, and that was on February 13th. So, 63 days ago. That's a joke. Having your champion of 166 days defend the title, or only have 5 TV matches during that title reign, and then defend the title once. Y'all signed her knowing what she was. Y'all put her in NXT for a short period of time, thinking you could coach her up. She is literally the same as she was in AEW. She has not gotten better. But yet, you don't put her in matches to try to disguise that. Look, we made her champion. Well, she was TBS champion in AEW for like 9,000 days or something. I think Rhea wins it here. I think Bianca comes back. I think we got Bianca and Rhea going forward, and Jade's out of the title picture, in my opinion. I could be wrong, which is fine. I don't care. But I think Rhea's going to win. Alright, next up we have the WWE United States title on line champion, Sami Zayn, taking on Trick Williams. Trick has had his chance as champion. They've been pinging this title around like a piece of candy lately. The last 7 title reigns have been between 42 and 90 days. I mean, we're just pinging this back and forth like it's Halloween candy. That is not how you build a champion. You have somebody go out there week in, week out, defend the title, get a bunch of title defenses under their belt, and then go, well, you know, I've had the title for 22 days, but I've defended it 7 times, and I've done blah, blah, you know, build the champion up. They don't seem to want to do that. They do all of these open challenges, which is fine, but that's when you get a 90-day title run, a 70-day title run, a 48, 62, 69, 42. Even Shinsuke had 97. Logan Paul had a 273-day title run. So, since 2022, you've had 3 reigns over 100 days for the U.S. title. Now, mind you, if you go back in the day, WCW did basically the same thing with it. They pinged it around a lot as well. So this title's never had really somebody to hold it and defend it and kind of build up their own little thing with it. I mean, 257 days by Austin Theory, 239 by Cesaro, 228 by Greg Valentine, 217 by Blackjack Mulligan. Those are the longest title runs in U.S. title history. And this title has been around since January 1st, 1975 with Harley Race. He held it for 183 days. So the U.S. title has always been that kind of piece of candy title that you just ping around. Now Backlash is 20 days away. So if you think about it, their title reigns have been between 42 and 90 days. Sami at 22 right now. Backlash is 20 days around. So you would, in theory, you think you would hold it here, retain it here, and then lose it at Backlash, which I can see that happening. So I got Sami Zayn retaining the title here, and then possibly losing it at Backlash, if not before. All right, next up we have the Demon return. Finn Balor taking on Dominic Mysterio. Obviously, Dominic getting kicked out of Judgment Day by Dom. And then the Demon has to return to handle his business. I think if he comes out full Demon mode, I don't see how you have him lose. I think to bring that character back and get that arena hyped, I think also going into the main event, you kind of want the fans up a little bit. Having the Demon return, having the Demon win would do that over Dom. So I think the Demon, Finn Balor, wins. That leads us to the main event. The World Heavyweight Title line champion CM Punk taking on Roman Reigns. The main event of all main events. Roman has main evented 7 straight Manias, going back to 2021. Punk has had the title 166 plus days. His last defense was 50 days ago, February 28th. He's only had 3 defenses in that time. He's not a fighting champion. Do I think in this day and age Punk is a good champion? Yeah, he is. I mean, he still can bring it on the mic. He's nobody better. In ring-wise, the best in the world versus the OTC, I don't know. They have the Paul Heyman thing, and that's another thing. It's like, we all know Paul Heyman was with Punk. For Punk to come out and say, I don't need a wise man, and he had one. It's like, everything, stop me when I'm telling lies. Well, you've been telling lies about all that stuff, so somebody needs to stop him. What is best for business? CM Punk winning, retaining, or Roman Reigns winning? If they want to go back to the Bloodline storyline, which they did for a couple of years, which actually kind of ran the company for a while, they could bring in Zilla Fatu and have Zilla help Roman win, or they could bring in Zilla Fatu to screw over Roman. Thought about that one as well. I'm going to go ahead and pick Roman Reigns to win it here. I think they're going to take the title off Punk. They may regroup. They may do something with the Bloodline. Kind of bring that storyline back a little bit. And then kind of go back to it to kind of do a little reset. So I got Penta retaining the Intercontinental title. I got Rhea winning the women's title. Sami Zayn retaining the U.S. title. And then Roman winning the world title. And you know what? I could honestly be completely wrong about all those. They could just be completely the opposite of what I think. Which is, we're going to watch. We're going to find out. We're going to watch Raw, see how great Raw is. I expect some type of return, like a Braun or somebody like that. And obviously we'll see Paige at Mania. That'll be our big debut, because I think a lot of the NXT guys and girls coming up isn't really that big of a oh my god moment. I don't know who is out there that we could have that just jaw-dropping, just wow moment. I know, 13 years ago, WrestleMania 25, J-Man and I went to Mania 25 in Houston, and BJJ was watching Raw. We told him, we texted on the way back, we're like, no, don't tell us anything, we want to see when we get back. And we talked about, what could happen on the whole way back, and it was a 15-hour drive, so it was a long drive. We literally get back, we turn into the neighborhood where J-Man lives with his dad. He gets a text. I mean, we're literally like 2 minutes from the house. The text just says, Dave. It's when Dave Bautista returned on Monday Night Raw. My nephew. He goes, Dave, God, fucking throw this phone at my wife. He was like, Dave. I'm like, God damn it. I didn't need to know. But, which, at Chamber 2010, I had a Dave sign, which was hilarious. I've been to 3 Manias now. I've been to 25, 30, and 34. So I've been to Mania quite a few times. Been to NXT at part of Mania. Walked down the French Quarter in New Orleans, wearing a Bullet Club shirt. 2 sweeting people. So, been there, done that. Elimination Chamber 2010, I had a big Dave sign. And I just said Dave across it. This is when Dave came out and beat John Cena for the title right after John Cena retained his title in the Chamber. And we kind of knew it was going to happen. It was one of those things that you kind of know this is happening, so you make the sign, you're ready. And I hold my Dave sign up, and some yin yang behind me, dressing all Cena gear, mind you. He's like, put your damn fucking sign down. Oh, okay, dude. And so I held it like this. And as soon as Dave's music hit, I turned it around and just went like that. So when the dude's looking down, all you can see is Dave's sign. And Dave annihilated John Cena like in 5 seconds. It was great. Anyway, all right, WrestleMania 42. Won't be watching it live. I'll watch it at some point in the next few days. I'll get a review up on Tuesday or Wednesday, along with some other the independent reviews. Been some good matches already. Couple 4-star matches already. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty good WrestleMania weekend. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for all the reviews and whatnot as we are moving on as well. Thanks for watching Robert Sports Show from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Cover it all here. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader sports show content.